My name is Zach Lee, and this is my research video essay for CMN 1160, Section B. So what was the main subject of my research report? This research report was a quick peek into my life during the COVID-19 pandemic. In this way, the subject was me and how I was affected during the pandemic. My high school grad year was cut short and we were shifted to online. When I applied to university, I got accepted, but here I am still doing online school during my first year. But the report goes much further than that, simply my high school experiences. It dives into the thoughts in my life outside of school. So what are some of my biases? Well, as illustrated in my research report, I like dogs more than cats. I really want a pug when I grow up. I like Apple's text messaging system, iMessage, over Instagram's messaging system, DM, because it's easy to use. And I like hockey more than football, maybe because I grew up playing hockey. I also like PC gaming over console gaming, because it's easier to play games on PC. So what were my field sites? I had 2 field sites during this research report. That being said, however, majority of my time was spent at my loft workstation. The other field site that I had was my room workstation, but we don't really talk about my room workstation. Nevertheless, both workstations were located on the 2nd floor of our house, so I can easily close a door and grind. So what is the context of my study? I'm just a university student struggling because of the global pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. Concerning my cognitive nearsightedness, as my stress increases with my school and my family, my vision changes to a very narrow picture. Therefore, I block out all that's around me except for school. All I'm focused on is doing well in university, which is good and bad. Bad because, well, I'm ignoring the bigger picture around me, my friends, my family, and stuff like that. I'm just becoming like a ball of stress. I conduct this study to get a better understanding of myself and my thoughts during this pandemic. That is the context of my study. So how did I collect my data? I gathered data from my field reports working at my loft workstation at home in Ottawa using my networking devices like my iPhone. I used my phone to take pictures of anything that I needed for my field reports. For example, in field report number 8, I used my phone to take a picture of the book Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, which is a great read. I also used my phone to search up any other information during my research process. For example, I would use my phone to look up a term that I don't understand. Ultimately, it was my phone that I used to gather most of my information and data for the analysis in my field report and research essays. I then emailed myself all of the data from my phone to my loft workstation, where I started to form and write my analysis. So how did I organize the data for my research report? I organized my data into 8 different sections. I find that it's easier to separate things into different sections because it makes the report easier to write and organize, as well as read. Anyways, back to the sections of my research report. I began with an introduction, then moved into my media ecology, then looked at patterns in my media habits, followed by a little analysis of those media habits in connection to my life and the world around me, and then a conclusion. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Zach, you missed 3 more sections. Don't worry, the last 3 sections follow my conclusion, where I have a section of my coding chart, my coded field reports, and then my appendix at the end. What did my final coding charts look like? As a general outlook on my coding charts, I coded a ton of words that fit under the theme of media and people. The other themes, devices, feelings, companies, politics, and platforms, didn't even come close. Altogether, I had 6 pages worth of coding. Media took up 4.5 of those pages, and people took up 3 of those pages. So I had 2 big patterns that I found in my research report. For one pattern, I found that the most used word in my field report was social media. This pattern of the word social media suggests that I live and breathe social media. Literally. It suggests that one of my main methods of burning time during this pandemic was through the use of social media. And this is true, I can't lie. I keep in touch with everyone, my friends and my family, through phone and video conferences. And I text them periodically over Snapchat, Instagram, iMessage, etc. Another one of my patterns that I found was Discord, which was another one of the highest coded words in my field reports. This is a big surprise for me, actually. This pattern suggests that I am connected to too many Discord channels, or that my number 1 place to interact with others is on Discord. This suggests that my world exists within communities and my status often depends on what others think of me on the Discord channels or on the social media platforms. This suggests that I am way too active on Discord and have a lot of digital connections. I learned a lot from this research report, such as my core values, such as my family, Christianity, stuff like that. I found out that I live and breathe in the online world, as I coded social media 68 times and I coded Discord 22 times. So I found out that I spent more time on social media more than anything, and this has been reflected in my field reports as I tend to talk about it a lot and speak about it a lot. This suggests that social media is one of the most used things in my life at this point, as I scroll through social medias to check in on my friends and connect with people. I found that I have been able to get by through watching TV, reading news, and watching Netflix. So maybe this pandemic wasn't as hard on me as I thought it was going to be.